What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Kato Taku and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about what I believe is the best new generation romance manga right now. Before we get started, there will be major spoilers in this video for the Kaguya manga. We're going to be talking about everything that's out to date. So if you guys haven't read it yet, click off the video. I won't be hurt by it. I really want you guys to experience the Kaguya manga for yourself because it really is that good and I promise you guys won't regret it. So basically, I finished Love is War last week and it was a roller coaster ride. I did not have a minute of just not wanting to read anymore. I was consistently reading it because I just wanted to know what was going to happen next, and man, did they deliver. I was thoroughly impressed with a lot of different aspects of the manga, which we're going to talk about today, but I just want to give you guys a couple of reasons why I think that Love is War is the best new generation romance manga. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is the characters. Of course, we have the two main characters, Shinomiya, Shirogane. Of course, they're great. They have to be great. They're the main leads for your manga and anime, so they have to be interesting, they have to be likable, and they're exactly that. I love Shirogane. I think he's very admirable in the way that he works so hard for anything that he's trying to achieve. He doesn't want anything easy. And you learn a lot about his backstory, about how he wasn't originally a smart kid. We learn a lot about how he has abandonment issues in a sense because his mom left him when he was younger. And you really learn to see that this character is the way that he is because of all the experiences that he's had in the past. And obviously, Kaguya is the main heroine. I mean, her name's on the manga. So she has to be a great character as well. And we start off seeing her as someone that's cold. She doesn't really open up to many people, but her development has just been awesome. She's started to trust people more. She's starting to open up about her feelings. She's starting to understand what love is. She's starting to understand what friendship is and camaraderie is, and she never had that growing up because she was in such a secluded world, being apart from the regular kids and just being known as the rich, smart kid from the Shinomiya family. As we continue to see the manga progress, instead of being such a high status, rich person, she's starting to become a normal girl that has friends, that has feelings, that wants to hang out with her friends, that wants to love. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. Don't even get me started on the side characters either. If we think about Yu Ishigami, who is probably my favorite character of the series, because he was a loner in a sense. He didn't have a place to stay. And if you guys don't know his story, I really do suggest you guys do read the manga because his development has just been out of this world. Every time he comes up in the manga, I just want to root for him. I want to see him do better because he's coming from a place where he hasn't had any friends, he hasn't had any love life, but he's learning to do that. And he's slowly learning to make friends and understand that not all people are bad. There are good people in this world, and there are good people that want to help him. Sooner or later, he really starts to see that this isn't so bad. I don't want to be alone anymore. I want to make friends. I want to experience all of it. And I think that's such a beautiful thing that we can relate to. No matter what we've gone through in the past, no matter what struggles we've been through, there's always a brighter side to it. There's always going to be things that'll make those things worth it. And that's really what Ishigami represents to me. And then we also have Hayasaka, who is one of my favorite characters. I think she might be the best girl. She's top 2 for sure. Her development as well, from being just a housemaid to also getting the chance to be a normal girl and not just be a servant to Kaguya, but to be a friend. Someone she can truly care for and be there as a friend, not just someone who has to work for her, but an equal in a sense. I feel like every time Hayasaka comes up in the story, she just steals the show. And she's really one of my favorite characters, honestly. And the next character that we have Miko Ino, who at the beginning of the manga, when she first was presented, she was just comedic relief in my opinion. She would just come in at the most inconvenient times, and then she would be left uncomfortable with the things that are happening in the student council, and it was just like a funny time. She was just someone to bring a laugh. And I'm really glad that the author chose to make her more than that because I think her development has also been really interesting. Being someone who is just a goody two-shoes in a sense. And her intention isn't really to get on people's nerves or to make them have a bad time. She truly wants the opposite. And she believes that if she has to be the scapegoat for that, and if she has to be the bad guy so that these people can experience the good in life, then she'll do it. And that was something I didn't really see at the beginning. But as we continue to see her development and that is explained to us, I was really like intrigued by her selflessness, even though these people don't like her. These people talk bad about her. Yet she's still selfless because she wants to see them experience the good things in life. And Chica's cool. I mean, I don't hate her. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like she's fine. I just feel like her development is really, it really doesn't match up to the other characters that are in this manga, and I think she really does just play that comedic relief role for the manga. The story starts off quite repetitive, so if you guys don't know the concept of Kaguya-Sama, basically Shirogane and Kaguya, they want each other to confess to one another. So basically each chapter is an individual battle between the two, and they're trying to get them to confess, and either Shirogane will win, either Kaguya will win, or even sometimes if someone interrupts that battle, they could win. So Fujiwara can win, Ishigami can win. Like it really just depends on the chapter. And it sounds pretty repetitive, but for some reason I didn't feel that way. I still felt that it was very compelling in the way they was telling a story. It was still very engaging. I had quite a few laughs reading it, and that was something I was afraid of because it's in manga format, so you don't have the background music, you don't have the sound effects, you don't have the voice acting to really sell the jokes. And for some reason it still worked. And I think that just goes to show that the author really does have a grasp on what's funny and what's not, and what is played out and what isn't. And honestly, I never felt like anything was played out in the manga, and everything really ran its course perfectly. And I think that's why when we hit the middle point of the manga around volume 11 or 12, where things really start to get serious, and it goes from a shift of just being, oh, I want this person to confess to me, to I want this person to know how I feel. It just hits different, man. I don't know how to explain it. Because we get to this middle point in the manga, and when we hit the part where Shirogane really makes an effort to set up this grand gesture just to let Kaguya know that he likes her, man, that just, the payoff is unreal at that point, because we've been building to this point for what, 11, 12 volumes, maybe 13 volumes, I don't remember exactly. But he makes it known that, yeah, I like you, and I want you to know this. And then they share this beautiful moment, and it was everything I could have asked for. Honestly, the manga could have ended there and I would have been fine, because it gave me such a great payoff to what we built up for 11, 12, 13 volumes, right? And then things just get better, right? We continue to see them grow in their relationship. We continue to see Shirogane and how hard he's worked for this moment, and you get to see their relationship develop and how they treat one another, and how they're trying not to tell anyone, but they really want to tell people. And everything is just so amazing. And then the stakes get higher. And recently, the stakes just exploded, basically. And I didn't think it would go in this direction, because it's been such a lighthearted manga from the beginning to such a serious tone in some points of the manga. And it was really a great development, I think. It was a great choice by the author to not let the comedic side of things really play out too long, but to really shift it so that we could have a different taste of what Kaguya could have been, and what Kaguya is, in a sense, because we see not only the lighthearted fun and good times, but we see the dramatic and the real struggles of being in a relationship with one another for the two characters. We get past this whole honeymoon phase of them being together, and we see that there are true consequences for them being with one another, and they're gonna have to deal with this probably for the rest of their life. And that's just the main story between the two main characters. We haven't even touched upon the story with Ishigami. For so long, Ishigami felt like he wasn't allowed to feel those things because people have been telling him this, and that he wasn't allowed to be happy, that he deserved to be miserable for the rest of his life, and he accepted that as truth. And finally, he comes to believe for himself, not because people are telling him this, but for himself, that he does deserve to be happy. He does deserve to make friends. He does deserve to have experiences in his life. And it really struck a chord with me every time we hit that arc with Ishigami, where he just develops more as a person. And then we see his relationship develop with Miko, who they've always been counterparts. They've always been head-to-head, butting heads, always arguing. And then we see that they really do care about one another from the very beginning. Even in middle school, they've always cared about one another, and they've always had each other's backs, even if the other didn't know it was happening. Just seeing their development has just been such a sweet treat for me, because I've always been a part of that team. I've just seen more development with them in a relationship aspect, and it's just been It's been so amazing. I'm just so happy that they're starting to go in that direction, and I really do hope that they get some closure with that as well. But overall, Kaguya-Sama is just a very sweet manga. There's not much that I can complain about when it comes to Kaguya-Sama. Everything that has happened so far I've been very pleased with, and I think it's one of the best new generation romance manga because of that. They've handled the story so well. They've also handled all of the characters' developments so well. The main characters, the side characters, everyone gets love in this manga. As an audience, we continue to learn more about these characters. That gave them more life. They gave them more to care about. Instead of just being a character that is just in this manga for the sake of being in this manga, we got characters where we saw their backstories. We saw how they were growing up. We saw the struggles that they faced in the past. And we've seen everything. And for that reason, we learn to love and grow with these characters. And I think that's what Kaguya-Sama does so well, is that it gives us a reason to care. But that's about it. That wraps it up for today, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think is the best new generation romance manga, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Without further ado, it's your boy Kato Taku, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.